not a whole day on lesson 3, but we're not doing another lesson today is because we'll make today a cumulative day as well, because you've already handed in your last cumulative right on the 25th, so you get your new cumulative one review today. So that's a good day to do this. So you get pretty much 3/4 of the class to work on your cumulative review. So the last part of rational functions of what we've done so far is graphing all the rational functions is solving them. But do you guys remember solving rational equations in 20? Right? And then you did it again. If anybody took 30-2, you solved them again in 30-2. So 20-1 and 30-2, you did this already. So algebraic was, so this is an example of all the algebra you did in 20-1 or 30-2. 30-1, it's already been tested. It's still a that's part of the rational equations functions unit. So they still put it in, but it's just, we'll never say solve algebraically. So I still wanted to show you guys to remind you. This one says solve algebraically as well, but I'm not going to solve it algebraically. Because guess what? If I show you guys again how to do it, you'll want to do it. Okay? Do I want you to solve any of them algebraically? No. Do I have students always solve them algebraically every single year? Yeah, and those are the students that sometimes get it wrong, right? Because they make an algebraic step wrong. And the thing is, if I put one of these on a quiz or a test, which I will, do you think they're going to be nasty? Yeah, they're meant to be nasty, where you break it all down, right? So for this one broke down nice, right? It broke down nicely to a linear, right? The one I give you on a quiz or a test is going to probably break down to a quadratic with a lot of nasty work, and then it's not going to be factorable. You're going to have to use the quadratic formula. So I don't want you to solve them algebraically, right? They're not meant to be solved algebraically, right? It's still part of your curriculum. Do you think one of these would show up on your diploma? Probably not, right? Because anything that you can just completely use your calculator for usually doesn't show up on your diploma, solving anyway. So it's not an outcome to solve algebraically. So like I said, this one, even though normally I do one algebraically, I'm going to stop even in my IB classes. Even though you have an example here, I'm not going to run through an algebraic process again because I don't want you to remember, okay? Because I want you to use your calculator. And the thing is, with solving these on your calculator, remember, they are going to look pretty funky. Do you guys agree that if we start putting rational equations together and we graph it, it could look pretty weird? Yes. So I want to make sure that you guys are okay with that weird graph. Because the most the most solutions you can get is just like you guys solved in 20, right, or 30-2, is you either will get one solution or two. You'll never get more than that, okay, because they are, if you did algebraically, it would break down to a linear or a quadratic, just like it did before. So let's just grab our calculator. So we are crossing out, because like I said, I don't want to even remind you how to do it algebraically. Right, so we are just going to solve it on the calculator. So no work involved at all. So then, and I wouldn't touch the original, I would leave it exactly how it looks. And on the left-hand side, I'm going to put all of that into y1, and whatever's on the right-hand side is going to go into y2. So like I said, there's no room for error. The only way that this could go wrong is if you type it into the calculator wrong, right? Because your calculator will solve whatever you type in. So, I should have left that fraction there. Right, so alpha y equals. So if you don't have the fraction feature, make sure you bracket the top, bracket the bottom. 2x plus 5. Try that again. So I'll get rid of that in a second here. There we go. Plus 2x. And then all right, I think, okay. Make sure I'm typing it in right because it's so tiny. I think that looks good. So I'm just going to start with the standard window because I don't know what my window is right now. So I'm just going to do assume 6 And then, like I said, if I do a standard window, I am limiting my answers from -10 to 10. So does that look like I can see everything? Yeah. Right, so it looks like it definitely crosses here, right? It might not cross there, right? Because could they approach each other, right? But what you'll do is you'll check both spots, right? Because you know there could be up to 2, right? So calculate. So second trace, intersection. So since my cursor's over on this side, I'm just going to leave it there. Because remember, I can just hit enter 3 times. As long as my cursor doesn't jump to the other side, it should calculate the intersection that it's blinking closest to. So enter, enter, enter. So one solution is x equals 0.75. So then I would now try it again. So calculate, intersection. And again, if you hit enter 3 times again, it's going to keep giving you the same one. So just use your left arrow. So left arrow, so you're just hitting this until you see that cursor flip, bless you, flip to the other side. So, oopsie. So now I can see it over there. And just in general, guys, all I do with my cursor is I try the far left. I put my cursor somewhere to the far left, I hit enter 3 times. If it kicks me out, there's not one over there. Then I try the middle, because this one it looks like I only need to try 2 spots, but sometimes it's just a big mess all over the screen. Okay? So sometimes I always just try the far left, enter 3 times, try the middle, enter 3 times, try the right hand side, enter 3 times. That covers the entire screen. And could you maybe make the window bigger so you have more X values to try? Yeah, so that would be the only thing is if I'm not getting anything, just make your X bigger. Don't really care about the Y, because remember, as long as your X is big enough, it will calculate it. So enter. And the other thing to watch out for, once you hit enter the first time, if this little cursor flipped to the other side, make it go back. Because sometimes the calculator will do that, which will confuse the calculator. So it stayed on the same side, so it looks like it's good that if there is one there, it will calculate it. Right, so since it didn't calculate on this side, guess what that means? There's only 1. Right, that's what that means. Right, so again, it should be a gimme question if I ask you to solve. So I'm going to do one more with you guys, and then you'll do your turn. And there's some textbook questions that I'll write down that you could try if you feel like you want to practice a couple more, because this, like I said, as long as you practice typing it in and you being okay with the nasty screen that you might get, these go very smoothly. Okay, so let's do one more together, and then like I said, I will hand out your cumulative, give you some options to try from the textbook if you'd like. Alright, so this one, everybody type it in. So make sure that one's typed in good. So again, if you're doing these, don't touch anything, don't move anything over, even though you could if you wanted to. But I always feel if you move something from the original position, there's a chance you could make a sign error. So why move anything if you don't have to? So left-hand side, Y1, right-hand side, Y2, graph. So this one's not horrible to look at either. Is it very clear where they are? Yes. So calculate, intersect. So this one clearly is going to have 2. Did it say head around to the nearest hundredth? So 0.43. And do you guys see that if you, negative, if you guys ended up solving that algebraically, would that have been broke down to a gross quadratic that you would have had to use the quadratic formula? Does anybody want to do that? I definitely don't even want to do it, and I love doing math. Right? It's just a lot of work to come all the way down to a degree 2 where now you got to do more work. So be thankful that, yay, easy peasy, use your calculator, because you don't get very many opportunities in 30-1 to kind of get a gimme question where you don't have to think very much. So, yay. So now right arrow, move to the other side, enter, enter, enter. So 3 points, so it's 0.97, so I have to round that to 3.10. But it won't affect your solutions. If you solved it algebraically, you do know that x cannot equal 3 over 2, right? But if you solved it algebraically, is there a chance you could have got an extraneous root? But since we're solving it on the calculator, do we even have to worry about that? No, because your calculator will only give you real answers, right? And just so you know that if we would have solved this one algebraically, there was an extraneous root, right? It was at negative 5 over 2. But we didn't have to worry about that because we solved it on the calculator. All right, so you guys go ahead, type this one in. I'm going to type it in too, just to make sure we're all good. And then I will give you, like I said, a couple textbook questions and then your cumulative review. And all of you guys are so used to writing down your restrictions, but here, like I said, you don't have to, just because we're solving it on the calculator. So it's, make sure I typed it in right. Oh, this one is nice too. I just remember some of the ones I do in 20-1, the screen's like it's just a big mess where you're like, I don't know where it is. So I do three spots and then I guarantee I always get what I need. These ones, nicer. So 1 point, did it say 100th again? Yeah. So 1.14. I'm not sure why I went close to the other one, why it gave me that one again. Come on. Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. So do you guys get 1.14 and negative 3.34? Perfect. Then I did not type it in wrong and we should be good to go. Right, so like I said, I will, if you want, do a couple questions from the textbook, but if you feel really confident that you're good with the calculator, then you can go right to doing the review.